The Kazakh Ministry of Industry and Infrastructural Development have announced that the country's export value amounted to nearly $55 billion in the first 11 months of 2018. The value is an increase of 24% compared to the same period in 2017. The export of processed products totaled over $14 billion. The Kazakh government provides financial and service support to exporters. Last year, the government held more than 50 foreign exhibitions and trade missions abroad, where Kazakh exporters signed over 100 business contracts. Experts believe that the values will continue increasing this year.
In 2018 жылы қазақстандық өнім 119 елге экспортталды.
In 2018, Kazakh products were exported to 119 countries. At the instruction of President Nazarbayev, the government will allocate additional 500 billion tenge for the export development in the upcoming 3 years. These funds will boost the non-resource-based exports. We are aiming to increase the export values of manufacturing products to 720 billion tenge and the number of exporters from 411 to 600 entities by 2021.
Компания 600 субъектіге дейін арттыруға мүмкіндік береді деп жоспарлап отырмыз.
Kazakhstan is currently exporting about 800 types of products to foreign countries. The range of the country's exported goods is growing every year by about 5 to 8 items. In addition to oil, gas and metals, the best-selling Kazakh products include plastic goods, textiles, vehicles equipment and agricultural goods. Meanwhile, in 2018, Kazakh producers exported honey to the United Arab Emirates in industrial scale volume. In addition, Kazakhstan-made ice cream was also exported to China for the first time last year. New Kazakh satellites were successfully tested in orbit. The satellites were launched from the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, USA, a couple of months ago. The first satellite, weighing 100 kilograms, is designed for remote sensing of the Earth. The second satellite, which is 20 times lighter, will allow scientists to explore the upper atmosphere. Their orbital stay conditions were projected before the launch, and all possible risks were identified in advance.
Для нас было очень важно, чтобы добиться таких технологий, которые нам позволили бы конкурировать.
It was important for us to develop technologies which would allow Kazakhstan's space industry to compete with large enterprises, which have been operating for many years and launched dozens of satellites. The onboard computer, which controls the operations of the entire satellite, is one of our latest developments. The onboard computer is highly productive. The device is small and light and doesn't consume much electricity.
Он небольших размеров, небольшой массы, малое потребление электроэнергии.
Sergei Murushkin is the project leader who has been working on the development of Kazakhstan's space industry for more than 20 years.
Вся жизнь она была связана с этим событием.
Before the satellite launch, our lives revolved around this event. We watched the live stream of the launch. At that time, I saw excitement in the face expressions of my colleagues.
Лица своих товарищей, но это действительно вот как ожидание рождения своего ребенка.
The developers monitored the satellites from the Flight Control Center in Astana. The team has been checking the satellites for 2 months since the launch. The orbital tests for satellites are usually performed in about half a year since the launch. The Kazakh satellites completed the tests early and yielded some results.
Здесь у нас на экране
It's one of the first images which we received from the Kaz-Istisat satellite. It's the image of Marseille city with a resolution of 17 to 18 meters.
17-18 метров.
The experimental payload developed by Kazakh specialists takes images in a panchromatic mode and films short videos. We received data from the payload as well. Both satellites were created as a result of tremendous efforts by the Kazakh space professionals. The specialists believe that the project is set to advance Kazakhstan's space industry to a new level of producing original space products. The Central Asian countries this year will continue to maintain favorable development conditions and build closer partnerships within the region. The statement is made based on research conducted by the Institute of East European, Russian and Central Asian Studies at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Based on the study, the researchers published a book titled Development of the Central Asian Countries in 2019. The book was presented in Beijing. Based on the research, it is found that there are positive developments in the Central Asian countries, and the developments are attributed to the Silk Road project. The researchers concluded that the Central Asian countries are currently solving common issues and challenges through mutual trust, consultation, and partnership. The relations between China and Central Asian countries are steadily improving. In this regard, 2019 will be very important for us. A number of high-level visits are planned. In April, leaders of the Central Asian countries will attend the Belt and Road Initiative Summit in Beijing. This year can be called as the year of intensive relations development between China and Central Asia.
2019年会是中国中亚国家这个关系快速发展。
Uzbekistan will introduce a new procedure for the approval of government members starting April 1st. According to the decree of President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, the appointment of government members has to be approved by members of the lower house of parliament. The rule is applied to the appointments of deputy prime ministers, ministers, and chairpersons of state committees. Currently, the country's government members, as well as heads of various ministers' departments, as well as large state-owned companies and banks, are appointed based on presidential and government decrees. Each leader tries to implement his or her work plan. However, how much this plan is in line with ideas and expectations of the public and how much it covers the most important issues are not always clear. Thus, now when appointing, ministers will promote and solve precisely those problems that are strategically important as part of the current agenda. Uzbekistan is actively improving its state system. The new reforms are related to the judicial and legal system, social area, security, inter-ethnic harmony and religious tolerance. President Mirziyoyev pays special attention to the development of economy and attracting investments. He also proposed that 2019 will be the year of active investments and social development. According to the Uzbek president, only a country that has an active investment policy can achieve stability and competitiveness of national economy. A revolutionary surgical breakthrough took place in Astana. A team of Kazakh heart surgeons under the leadership of Yuri Pia and doctors from Czech Republic, Israel, Italy and the United States successfully performed a unique heart surgery. For the first time in history, a wireless artificial support system is implanted into a vital human organ, the heart.
This is a really exquisite example of collaborative partnership of several countries on several continents. And this was based as a cooperation between the company, which is based in Israel, our partners from Astana in Kazakhstan, and the other centers who have participated were the specialists from Belgium, where we have conducted most of the animal trials which were needed to ensure the safety of the technology before we could ultimately pursue with the implantation in first human.
A couple of months ago, 24-year-old Almaty resident Ismail Tursunov couldn't move on his own. He was diagnosed with severe myocarditis. He needed a surgical intervention. However, everything now is in the past. More than a month has passed since the day of the surgery. The young man feels good and even does some sports.
До операции я ходить даже не мог.
Before the surgery, I could not even walk. I was brought here for 2 days. I couldn't get out of bed. In Almaty, I was bedridden for 10 days. And then I was brought here. I got some medicine from the IV drip. 2 days later, I could get up. I agreed to this. You can see I can walk without the IV and the monitor. An implantable device allows patients to live without a direct connection to an external power source. Doctors say that the device is safe since the risk of complication and infection is low. In addition, the patient does not need to carry a heavy charger.
Your country.
Даже когда вам нужно заряжать систему, питать ее.
Even when people need to charge the system, they just need to power it up, connect, close this belt, and just forget about it. Then when the device is fully charged, users can turn off the power by just removing the belt.
Закончилось. Питание можно отключить, поезд просто снять.
Там большой опыт. Как бы той клинике предлагают участвовать. И был выбор.
The clinic that has a huge experience receives an offer to participate. There were a number of other options where the surgery could be performed. Factors such as a very flexible law on introducing new technologies and the government's adoption of this program of introducing the new technologies have played a big role in the success.
Новых технологий, поэтому все эти факторы сыграли роль.
Work on international project has been conducted for nearly 10 years. The first country to clinically test the development is Kazakhstan. Kazakh scientists can win scholarships worth 22 million to 300 million tenge to commercialize their developments. Kazakhstan Science Fund actively supports the rapprochement of scientists and entrepreneurs by providing scholarships for creation of finished products and services. Since 2016, 159 projects have been funded in agricultural science, medicine, metallurgy, and the food industry. In order to win a scholarship from the Science Fund, the scientists need to fill an application form with a specific project with a possible commercialization within 36 months.
На сегодняшний день, вот за 3 года финансирования нам выделено 12 миллиардов тенге, которые мы профинансируем. За первые 2 года нами профинансировали.
Today, over the past 3 years, 12 billion tenge have been allocated, which we have used to finance projects. In the first 2 years, we used 7 billion tenge and 907 million was used to pay taxes. Based on the 3 competitions and 159 projects, there are 1,019 people working on our projects. During the course of the project implementation, we provide jobs to our scientists and entrepreneurs.
59 проектам у нас работает 1019 человек на наших проектах. Мы даем уже в ходе реализации проекта мы даем рабочие места для наших ученых, для наших предпринимателей.
There are some cases where the projects that receive the funds are also co-financed by private entrepreneurs. Businessmen usually look for scientists or innovators who are ready to solve problems of particular production. Grantees also sometimes contribute their own money to the project. One of the examples is the LED lamps for innovative greenhouse project created by Amangilde Taukenov. Together with his team, he developed nanophosphorus, a special composition that is included in a lamp to create radiation similar to sunlight. Due to the light, crops can be grown several times faster than usual, says the developer. In just 1 month, the first crop of cucumbers has been harvested in the Amangildi greenhouse, while the tomatoes will be ready for harvest soon.
Два экономических счета. В первую очередь, это, поскольку это теплица, как предприятие, которое может...
There are 2 economic effects. First, this is a greenhouse that generates income by selling crops. Secondly, we sell our discovery to many people who work in greenhouses who want to use our lighting. Now we are carrying out several projects. I think by the end of the year, we will sell some of the lamps that we will manufacture ourselves.
Проектов ведем. Я думаю, что к концу года, наверное, мы продадим определенную часть светильников, которые мы сами изготовим.
ITES Best Result Republican Educational Competition kicked off in Kazakhstan. The competition's main purpose is to improve the knowledge of the Kazakh students and help high school students to prepare for the final exams and the unified national testing. The project developers believe that the competition will motivate students to pass the UNT and will reduce the gap in the quality of education between the rural and urban schools.
К нашим ресурсам уже подключено 7 тысяч школ всего Казахстана.
7,000 schools from all over Kazakhstan join our platform. The competition will identify top 50 winners. Top 10 winners will win educational grants. The remaining 40 winners will receive prizes such as smartphones, earphones, and more.
Наушники и разные крупные такие призы.
President Nazarbayev declared 2019 as the year of the youth. Therefore, young people will have many opportunities this year, which they should use. The number of educational grants is increasing every year, and students are expected to show great results. In general, young people have a lot of opportunities at the moment. After registration at the website, students can take part in the competition, which will be open until June 20th. The iTest Best Result competition is held as part of the Digital Kazakhstan and modernization of Kazakhstan's identity programs. Students of the Kazakh National University of Arts started shooting a film. Shugila Serejan and a team of other students are working on a film which consists of several short stories intertwined into one big story. According to a long-established directorial tradition, after the first successful take, the crew breaks a plate for good luck. The film includes 7 stories in 7 genres by 7 scriptwriters. Shugila Serejan and her fellow students are said to use the skills and knowledge gained during 3 years of study in the university.
Осы фильмнің атын қою туралы көп ойландық. Өйткені
We thought a lot on the title of our film. All 7 stories have the common theme of love, such as love for mother, family, and significant others. Therefore, we came out with the title of Love Days, because the main idea of the stories is love.
Сондықтан біз бұл киноның тақырыбын махаббат күндері деп қойдық.
The film creators shared that the plot of the short stories revolves around the topic of love. According to scriptwriters, the stories are entertaining and will keep the viewers thrilled. The entire principal photography and videography will take place in the university.
2 жыл бұрын біз құмырсқа деген фильм түсіргенбіз, украин сценарий. Толықметражды фильмде.
We shot a full-length film, Stolen Scenes, 2 years ago. The film Love Days is our second feature film. Next year, we are planning to cooperate with Japanese students to shoot a film together and exchange experience as part of an international cooperation. The Love Days film by Kazakh film directors will be released in Russian and Kazakh languages this summer. Kazakhstan's state concert organization, Kazakh Concert, implemented 136 projects in 2018. The organization held numerous events, including anniversary concert, tours, and other events. Kazakh artists performed in many countries and were well received by audiences all over the world. For instance, Kazakh artists such as Astana Musical, Forte Trio, and Academy of Soloists performed in countries such as Italy, France, Spain, Turkey, Slovenia, Georgia, Russia, and China. The performers are expected to tour in more countries this year.
В планах гастролей Astana Musical выезжает с известным мюзиклом.
We're planning to organize the tour of Astana Musical, which will present their famous musical Notre Dame de Paris. We also want to show this musical in Almaty. As part of the Year of Kazakhstan in Uzbekistan, we want to demonstrate this musical in Tashkent and Kazakh cities such as Shymkent, Kizilorda, Atyrau, and northern cities. The Academy of Soloists will perform at festivals in Malta, Turin, Rome, and France. Forte Trio will perform their best compositions in Beijing and Moscow.
Forte Trio будет выступать в Пекине, в городе Москве. Это лучшие произведения наших композиторов.
Kazakhstan State Academic Dance Theatre also presented their best dance acts last year. Their major dance performances are based on music by famous Kazakh composers. The dance team, directed by honored ballet master of Kazakhstan, Bulat Ayukhanov, demonstrated many successful performances, including a concert in St. Petersburg Music Hall, which was held in June. This year, the theatre is also set to present new performances. We are planning to present many dance acts because Bulat Ayukhanov is currently working on multiple new performances. He is very productive and introduces new performances every other day. He wants to demonstrate the new performances to wider audiences. Last year, Bulat Ayukhanov staged 8 performances, including the classical dance, the Waltz of the Flowers, and Rondo Capriccioso. The ballet master wants to stage both internationally known classical works and compositions by Kazakh composers and present them abroad.